What's going on, guys? We are live for the Thursday live stream. Let's see how many people get notified for this live stream because last live stream we had, everybody wrote to me after and they're like, "What happened? Whoa, where was it?" And yeah, no one was notified. So today we are going to go over some more SIHH 2019 choices, some picks, if you will. Some of them are good. Two of them are good. One of them is kind of good, and one of them is just all bad. We're going to do some screen sharing today as well. We're just going to chill and see who shows up. I have the chat window open. What's going on? Still getting over that cold. Luxembourg, what's going on, man? Razor Ron. Milcom says the notification worked. Finally. Andrew Pereira, Joseph Folk, Shanti, Razor Ron. How's everybody doing? I know the flu's been going around. If I start coughing, I'm going to try my best not to start coughing. Who else has it, man? Lemite from Amish country. How's it going? 6killa 2121. Doing well, man. So why don't we kick this off and do a well, I typically like to wait until we get to 100 viewers to hit the wristwatch check. So it's up to you guys if you want to wait. But why don't we start off with you guys? What are you guys wearing? We'll do the wristwatch check with you guys, and then I'll show mine off later. Andrew says get the flu shot. The only issue is that I'm already sick. So I think it's a bit too little too late. Great Lakes Watch Review says, what time is it? It is 3:06 p.m. Let's get down to business. People are wearing Orients. Cowboy Swami's in the building. Team Pepsi with a 009. Gudar Soli's wearing a Batman. We got some Tudor Black Bays. For some people, it's already Friday, they're telling me. Excuse me, guys. Sorry if I'm coughing in your guys' ears over here. Ryan DeLucci, what's going on, man? All right, so I'm wearing my Seiko SSC 081, my solar chronograph compass, on a Hadley Roma Cordura. I did a little short, like Instagram live stream yesterday when I was changing straps because I was getting some questions about the various straps that I was using on those watches. So kind of showed them off then. Okay, so how many of you guys have seen my latest episode on my kind of winners and losers, the hits and misses? How many of you guys saw that episode about SIHH? Zahor is wearing, I think he meant Cartier. He wrote Carter, but it's all good. I can read between the lines. All right, we got some certified T3 bots. Jared Packer, Briar Blues in the building. David Williams, Anthony Billick. All my regulars have jumped on. Okay, so in that episode, I kind of went over some watches I was excited to learn more about and some watches that I was definitely not that excited to see. And I told you guys that we would kind of converse maybe a little bit about those, but I also have some more to show you guys. I do not love the code 1159, Sean. That is wrong. Some people got upset with me, man, for saying that for putting the JLC Gyro Tourbillon on the loser list. People were upset about that. And I thought I expressed myself pretty clearly. The only reason that it was on the loser list was because it was simply a watch I would never wear. I don't think that it's impressive to look at the same way that like a transformer is like really cool to look at, but it's not, I wouldn't consider it a beautiful watch. But I do have some beautiful watches on this list. I have actually two really pretty watches. One of them is hideous, and the other one looks cool, but I'm kind of still putting it on the loser list, and I'm going to tell you why. So we're going to go ahead and do a little screen share, and people are saying that IWC killed it. Justin Hill, I agree with you. Although I disagree with you because you just said that you liked that AP Code 11. Incorrect. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a little screen share here so that make sure. Okie dokie. And all right, so the first watch that I want to look at, and guys, please confirm you can see what I'm trying to show you. There should be a really nice looking Mont Blanc on the screen there. This is a recently exposed, if you will, Mont Blanc Heritage Perpetual Calendar, and this is the limited. Okay, so this one's actually limited to 100 pieces. Now, for those of you looking at this familiar with Mont Blanc's catalog, you'll probably asking yourself right now, oh, Mont Blanc already had a perpetual calendar, right? Well, this one's a little different. This one's actually 1 millimeter bigger. Okay, so this is 40 millimeters. The one they had before this is 39 millimeters. And although, you know, I prefer my watches on the smaller side, this 40 millimeter is actually much better arranged. Okay, it looks so much nicer. They put the kind of old school font and logo over there right under the 12 o'clock. There's some gorgeous texturing on the dial. Obviously, it's a perpetual calendar, so you're getting all that information there. And just take a look at that moon phase, guys. That moon phase is ridiculous. By the way, Richard Ellie said, great LL Bean shirt. Good eye, dude. I am, in fact, wearing an LL Bean flannel. Anyway, back to this Mont Blanc. You know what would look really good with this LL Bean flannel? This Mont Blanc Heritage Perpetual Calendar. So this is solid red gold. It has a bit of a darker hue. As I said before, it's 40 millimeters. Now, here's the disheartening part. All right. It's $26,000. And again, it's limited to 100 pieces. Now, when we're talking about limited perpetual calendars, $26,000 is actually kind of reasonable, believe it or not. Still, you know, that's a very pretty penny. Now, they do, or I should say they are going to release a stainless steel version that's not limited, and it's going to be just under 16,000. So a bit more attainable, but honestly, still incredibly expensive. But something cool about Mont Blanc, they make really beautiful watches, but they still have this kind of exploratory, rustic feel to them. And it's, again, because of, I guess, who they're targeting, or maybe they're trying to, you know, utilize price point product placement. They're kind of a bit on the attainable side. Again, $26,000 is an enormous amount of money, and I could not just drop that on that watch right now. But again, for a Swiss limited precious metal perpetual calendar, $26,000 is actually kind of reasonable. So, and guys, let me level with you guys here. Tell me if you guys can see me. Hello. People got really upset with me, okay, in the comment section and on my Instagram because of my last episode. They were like, oh, why are you talking about these uber expensive watches? Why didn't you pick some more affordable options? Well, SIHH, okay, the HH in SIHH stands for hot horology, okay? The hot in hot horology is literally denoting hyper limited, precious, incredibly refined, expensive, uber expensive. If you see hot horology, it just means unattainable. Okay, so it's not that I am totally shifting my channel to talk about these watches that no one will ever buy. Obviously, 99% of the content on my channel is about watches that I personally would buy and that many of you guys can attain. However, you know, this is current events in the watch world, so I figured I'd share it with you. And who doesn't looking at this eye candy? You know what I mean? Speaking of eye candy, there is a watch I'm going to show to you guys that I'm really not excited about, and that is beautiful segue by me, by the way. Speaking of eye candy, let's go ahead and look at the next watch I want to show you. For those of you following the SIHH show, you guys will know which one I'm talking about. This is Richard Mille. Okay, you guys know how I feel about you guys know how I feel about Richard Mille. Not a fan at all. And they've just released their Marshmallow Bonbon collection. That's right. That's actually what this line is called, the Marshmallow Bonbon collection. Now, this looks like it should be in the toy aisle of a Target, right next to Fisher-Price and, you know, Playmobiles. I don't even know if they still have Playmobiles. I just aged myself a bunch there. So I'm torn. Okay, I'm torn about these watches, not because I don't know how to feel about Richard Mille. I definitely am not a fan, and I understand that I think this is hideous. That's not what's confusing to me. What's confusing to me is, on one side, it's cool and refreshing to see a company have fun with their watches, you know, not take themselves too seriously. And then on the other side, I feel like this is blasphemy. I feel like they are not taking watchmaking seriously, and I want to scream at them. Now, I have a cold right now, and my doctor said that I shouldn't scream for like a week, so I'm gonna chill. But yeah, I think it's gross. As you can see, those kind of yellow to green to blue pillars are kind of sour straws. And then you got some of those sugared citrus fruits, those candied lemons and oranges, and then you got some lollipops there. And then they made one for the ladies. Okay, they made one for the ladies. Boom. This looks like, I don't know, some taffy, some pulled sugar, some marshmallows. And again, this literally looks like a toy. So I'm gonna let me pop back in here. What do you guys think of this? Sean says it's unicorn poo. Ryan says it's fugly. Excuse me. Kyle K says, you go to a doctor for a cold. No, I didn't. It was a joke. So relax. Jared Packer says, yeah, Richard Mille gets a hard no. People are saying that's one fugly watch. I agree with you, Mark. Donovan says, my eyes are burning. Again, guys, do you see what I'm saying? On one side, it's like, wow, this company's not taking themselves too seriously. They're having fun with their design. They've incorporated candy, some kind of art. And then on the other side, it's like, okay, that's not a watch. It's a Fisher-Price watch. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So let's cleanse our eyes with like a much better. Yeah, and Andy says, can you eat it? That's another thing, dude. You can't even eat it. So it's not like do you remember those? Again, guys, I don't even know if these exist right now. But if they do, I'm going to the store and buying bags worth of it. Do you remember those bracelets? And then if you were really little, you could wear them as a necklace with the candy, and you could like put it in your mouth and you can like chew on it. Do you guys remember that? But then you'd get to the elastic band and it would taste like rubber. Okay, at least those you could eat and it would give you a sugar high and you'd be eating candy. These watches from Richard Mille, the Marshmallow Bonbon collection, they would only probably taste rubbery and you can't even eat them and they look ridiculous. So there's not even like any redeeming feature in my eyes. At least if you're gonna make them with some flavor. All right, give me some flavor. Let's go ahead and look at the next watch. We're gonna cleanse our palate, if you will, by checking out the next watch here. Let me share that screen with you. Excuse me, guys. Again, I'm so sorry for coughing in your ear here. All right, so enough of this, Richard Mille. Please get off my screen. Okay, I shared with you guys in the last episode, if you recall, Vacheron Constantin's perpetual calendar ultra thin. That watch was only 8.1 millimeters thin. Ridiculously sleek watch. Again, they're offering it with a full rose gold bracelet, and they've added a blue dial. That watch is, I mean, I would wear that right now if I could. Gorgeous watch. Well, this is another Vacheron new release that is also a perpetual calendar, but this is a minute repeater. And what's actually very, very impressive about this watch is that although it's a perpetual calendar and a minute repeater, it's only 12.1, about 12.1 millimeters thick. So it only added a little bit of girth there, whereas you get watches that have a minute repeater complications and they're much thicker than this. So kind of impressive, Vacheron, keeping with that sleek, very wearable design. This is absolutely going to slide under your cuff, no problem. And let's see, actually, I just looked at my notes here. This is 10.44 millimeters thick. So it's actually even like, it's only about 2.44 millimeters thicker than the ultra thin. So this is actually very, very thin. I thought it was just above 12, but I was wrong. I'm looking at my notes here. 42 millimeters. So again, not a huge watch, especially when you're comparing it to like a Longa datograph. That's much more watch on your wrist here. So this has a 65-hour power reserve. And as you can see, I'm putting off saying the name. I'm going to read this from my notes here, guys. It's the Vacheron Constantin La Cabinetier Minute Repeater Perpetual Calendar. I know I probably have some French speakers here that are just cringing and rolling their eyes. I know I probably have some smarty pants that want to correct me, but alas, I am a stubborn American. I'm trying my best, guys. The Vacheron Constantin Le Cabinetier Minute Repeater Perpetual Calendar. Let's have a look, and I can tell you some difficult information about this watch. Here's what's difficult. I would love, 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 love to have it. And they haven't even told us the price. Okay, I have not been able to source a price on this. All the information I get says price on request. Now, guys, in the comment section, sound off. What does price on request mean? What is that really code for? It's code for ridiculously expensive. Okay, when even Vacheron won't tell you the price on their watch, and these companies, like, don't get it twisted, guys. These companies love showing you the prices of their watches, especially these super unattainable ones, because it's almost a bragging right? They almost use their price tags as a badge of honor. Like JLC is probably laughing like hilariously. They're like, we just released a $900,000 watch. Well, Vacheron here, they're not even going to list their price. Price upon request. And then here's another piece of information. I don't even have an availability on this watch because what I've been told is that it's special order only. Special order only, guys. So if you want one, if anyone in my viewership right now wants one, you're going to have to go ahead and write to Vacheron yourself, and you're going to have to request a price, and then you're going to have to special order one. So When JLC comes out with a watch that's $900,000 and Vacheron won't even tell you the price, I'd be very, 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 very interested. But let's go ahead and look at this next watch here. Now, this watch that I'm going to share with you right here, I wanted to mention Panerai. Okay, I'm going to give you a peek here. Check it out. This is the Panerai Submersible Mike Horn edition. I'm going to jump up. Hope you don't mind. I'm trying new things with these live streams. I'm going back and forth a bit here. Here's what's bugged me about Panerai. Okay, really like Panerai. Own a Panerai. Years later, I still have a Panerai. Panerai is bothering me. I dislike Panerai. They are running their company poorly. They aren't doing enough to combat the counterfeit market. They are releasing everything as a limited edition. They have drastically raised prices on their watches. They aren't making their watches as well. They aren't finishing them as well. They aren't decorating their movements like they did on mine. This and that, this and that, this and that. Okay, that's kind of my love-hate relationship with Panerai. So with Panerai in this show, this SIHH show, I am on one end happy, okay, because I feel like they had some nice looking watches and they didn't do some over-the-top skeletonized watch that no one's going to buy. I think some of these that they've released, people would actually buy. Now, you know, come Basel World, who knows? They might release just a ridiculous watch then. But this one, I'm gonna share it with you again. This, let's see, it's the limited Mike Horn edition. I'm gonna put it on my loser list, guys, for a few reasons. Okay, I'm sure it looks cool. It definitely looks tough. I personally am a big fan of the Panerai Submersible series. I like it. And this has some cool specs. We're going to go over them in a second. But they've done, or maybe haven't done, something that makes me very frustrated. Okay, so just some quick specs. It's 47 millimeters. Okay, that shouldn't deter you too bad when you're looking at the Panerai Submersible series. I mean, that kind of comes with the territory. These are their beefy actual dive watches. So 47 millimeters. And what's cool about this watch is that it's actually made from recycled titanium. Okay, they call it eco titanium. It's just recycled titanium. Very cool. 300-meter water resistance rating. This is powered by their in-house automatic movement. So that sounds all good, right? Well, what bothers me, and let me see if I have another picture of it from the side. Well, you guys can probably see it looks like there's a shadow from under the signage, right? If you look at all the font, looks like there's kind of a shadow underneath it. And then you'll probably notice the Panerai font looks like it's written over the indexes. Why is that? Well, it's because they decided to write the font on the crystal. Okay? This is the first thing that bothers me about this watch, okay? Font on the crystal. That might sound impressive and hard to do. It's not. This is another reason that they are not doing enough to combat counterfeiters, okay? Now, this watch is limited to 19 pieces, okay? Limited to 19 pieces, and it's going to be just under $20,000, okay? Here's the thing. I think it looks kind of dumb, the font on the crystal. And also, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make it easier or harder for counterfeiters, but I feel like people are just going to mess with that, and it just bothers me. Again, recycled titanium, that's really cool. 300-meter water resistance rating, that's really cool. It being limited, that's not cool with me because, again, Panerai just wants to make everything limited. I don't know if it's sandwiched in or if it's written on the reverse of the crystal. That's what bothers me about it. If it's written on the underside of the crystal, then that's like a counterfeiter's dream, because they don't even have to write on a sandwich dial. They can just blast it on some crystal. If it's sandwiched in the crystal, then that might be cool. Who knows? That'd be a much harder undertaking. Sean T says, what if it's printed on the outside? If it's printed on the outside, then there's a huge issue here, and Panerai is dumber than even I thought. So, but yeah, my Panerai does not have a sandwich dial. It came out before they started doing sandwich dial. I don't like their sandwich dial watches. So, but again, that's just a design choice. That's different strokes for different folks. So yeah, I mean, again, the Mont Blanc we looked at, gorgeous in my opinion. The Richard Mille, just a joke. The VC Le Cabinetier minute repeater perpetual calendar, absolutely gorgeous. I'll probably never see one in person, which is a huge bummer. I would be surprised if they even had this at like the boutiques around here. And then the Panerai submersible, I want to be a fan. Mike Horn edition sounds cool. I don't like that they're writing the logo and the font on the crystal. I think that's kind of silly. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? And again, I want to hear what you would add to your winners and losers list. Rex says, good, 19 pieces we won't have to see on Instagram. I'm so sorry for coughing on you guys, by the way. But yeah, 49 millimeters doesn't bother me at all. The recycled titanium I think is cool. It having its in-house auto is cool. But sandwich style, I'm not a fan of. It being hyper limited, I'm not a fan of. And the stupid crystal writing, I'm not a fan of. Cowboy Swami says, doesn't the gyro tourbillon count for all positions? Yeah, of course. But so people, it's so cool to get these questions, because it means like people are very, very interested in the actual mechanics of watches and the functionality, and that's awesome. And I love asking why. I love asking why people chose to design things a certain way. Now, the whole purpose of a tourbillon was to account for different directions. And then gyro tourbillon, because it's moving like a gyroscope, it's moving gyroscopically, it's going to be stable and accurate at all directions, regulated to all these different directions, if you will. So that's all well and good, but don't be like fooled, guys. The only reason, like, there has to be diminished returns at some point, right? So JLC didn't make that gyro tourbillon so that it would be accounted for in all these different directions. They did it as like a flex. They did it to show what they are capable of. Because if they really wanted, all their watches to be hyper regulated at all directions and this and that and blah, 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 then they'd be putting those in all their watches. But I mean, it's pretty well understood that a watch doesn't need a tourbillon. It's just it's something to look at, and it's something very impressive to make. It's art for sure. It's very captivating, and it's incredibly impressive that someone found out how to do that and actually implemented it on a watch. And when you consider how small the pieces are and how many pieces are being used in that gyro tourbillon, it's crazy that someone was able to put these series of microscopic pieces together and then literally create life. And then that life is giving you information, accurate information. That's what makes watches so impressive and interesting to me. Now, they didn't do it though so that watch is super duper functional and accurate. They did it to show you, look what we're capable of. And that's awesome. That's fine. That's what these shows are for. These shows are to show the world, what these companies are doing, what they're trying, how innovative they are, and yeah, I applaud them for that. That's awesome. Um, Now, JG says art and sales gimmick. I wouldn't lessen it to a gimmick, right? I wouldn't say it's a gimmick. I think it's very, very impressive what they did. I just is it implemented is it implemented with the purpose of being like incredibly super functional? No, they did it to like a flex. It's a show of force, if you will. Jared Packer, certified T3 bot, says tourbillons are pure artistry and engineering awesomeness. I agree with you, man. Phil Moore says, Jordy, my name's Jory, but it's all good. I'm going to assume that your phone auto-corrected. What are your reviews on Zenith? I particularly like their pilot's watch, which is, shall we say, more realistically priced in comparison to the IWC Pilot. Well, it depends which IWC Pilot you're talking about. I like Zenith. If I was going to get a Zenith, it'd be an El Primero, though. It wouldn't be one of their pilot's watches because, again, I would just get an IWC. Now, these new Spitfire and these new Top Guns that they came out with, the IWC came out with, is really making me love IWC some more. There's currently not a pilot's watch that I would currently spend money on over a Big Crown Pro Pilot, right? But then I saw these new IWC Spitfires and these new Top Guns. Dang, that's making me want to reach for my wallet. The Top Gun double chronograph looks so cool. You throw that on a Cordura strap, and I think that's one of the coolest pilot's watches you could wear. Oopie says, Ja'Cory, I love your opinions. Well, I love you, bro. Leon says, tell us about Longines, yay or nay? In general, yay. For me, like, nay. Not because I think they're bad. I just haven't seen enough of them to make me really want to purchase them. But they make fine watches. Six Killer, what do you think about Bell & Ross? I think some of them are cool. Like their square pilot's watches are cool. Rex, does the IWC Top Gun make you want to sing? Yeah. That love and feeling. Jerkface says Bell & Ross isn't cool anymore, like Jinkos. You spelt Jinkos wrong. Jinkos is J-N-C-O. Why? Because I begged my mom to get me them when I was in 3rd grade. And she said no, she said no, she said no, she said no. Finally, I wore her down, and she was like, fine. She got me a pair. I wore them once in public. I wore them once to school, and then she threw them out. But man, I wanted to be so cool so bad. I'm reading comments. If you see me like stop talking, it's not that like I've just passed out. It's that I want to read the comments. But yeah, guys, Six Killer says you are cool, Jory. You're cool, man. It's all good. It says, what about the Glycine Airman? What about it? I get a lot of people. That phrase or that question always confuses me when people say, what about this? I don't know. Like, finish your thought. Are you trying to compare it to something? If you're trying to compare, or are you asking me my opinion on the watch? Glycine is a company I don't have much I don't have much experience with. It bothers me that they're now, they're Invicta, or at least they're related to Invicta. Ugh. What about the Invicta Pro Diver, James K, certified T3 bot? Jerry Packer says, "Well, thanks for making me feel old. I was buying my own Jinkos because I was in high school and working." Yeah, I was in third grade. It was still the '90s, probably, but I was, yeah, in third grade. David Binder says, "How so related?" Invicta owns glycine. I hope I did not shatter anyone's dreams, hopes, and dreams with that statement. But for those of you who don't know, unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty positive Invicta owns glycine. So, yeah. Bert says, "I think Mont Blanc hit a home run this year. Don't you just love the heritage timepieces?" Yeah, man. Must have joined a little late. That's actually the first watch we spoke about today. I'm reading more comments, guys. Excuse me. Yeah, everybody's confirming that glycine is Invicta. So I'm sorry to burst your guys' bubble, but I said bubble, but um, let's see. Do I prefer A or B dials in pilots' watches? You're assuming that I'm only looking at Fliegers. I don't only look at Flieger pilots' watches, guys. There's other Fliegers out there. So Gottlieb says Mont Blanc has potential if it would get out of the shadow of writing instruments. Well, I don't think they should get out of the shadow of that because that's clearly, I think that's their bread and butter, right? I mean, if they should not stop doing what they are doing well. And I love my Mont Blanc pens, and yeah, I don't think they should. I think that'd be really weird if they put their writing instruments, if they put those in the back seat. Cowboy Swami, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Shouldn't Russia military be embarrassed with Vostok?" Um, I I don't know how. I don't know why their military would be upset with their military's watch. I mean, I'm not I'm not a huge Vostok guy. Okay, like, I know there's a huge cult following. I don't want to turn people against me in this live stream, but not a huge Vostok guy. It's all good says, "Just because one company owns another doesn't mean their watch is the same quality." Yeah, I agree. I've made that argument with Rolex and Tudor. The difference is that I hate Invicta with a passion, and it's funny to keep reminding you guys of that. Bill Staples, are you going to trade your STI for an STI S209? Absolutely not. I mean, I could make a whole different live stream about that car. I think it's really cool, and I'm happy they made it. I think it's awesome. I'm very happy with what I picked, though. Apparently, it's going to be more information just came out. It's probably going to be MSRP 65,000, which means dealer markup's going to be in the 70s, or potentially 80s. They even said, and so for like 20 more horsepower, deeper wheels, like a larger offset, and then they have the water spray system on the intercooler. That's cool. The water spray system. That's probably the only thing that would. That's probably the only thing that made me be like, "Whoa, that's interesting." But the other specs didn't, because the type it looks like a Type RA, okay, and it has a bigger turbo. It has a bigger HKS turbo. Essentially, and I'm not trying to put anybody down that's a big S209 or 207 fan, but the S209 is essentially an STI Stage 2 build. For those of you who know about that stuff, it's essentially a Stage 2 build, giving it a little more power. And again, the water spray system is very cool. That's the only thing that makes me wanna that would make me be like, But again, for over 20,000 more for that water spray system, nah, not for me, but for other people. And again, they're only making 200 of those. So I can't really look at that as a new generation STI, because it's not. That's just a limited edition. And I feel if I was a car collector, then like Jay Leno or something, limited edition cars would be very cool to have. I would scoop that up in a second. I would pre-order it, blah, blah, blah. I'd have it in my stable of cars. But I'm not. I'm a watch collector. I have multiple cars, but I drive them and I have fun with them. So having dailying a limited edition car, I think, is much less easy than dailying like a limited edition watch. Does that make sense? James K, certified T3 robot, says, any truth to the rumor of an upcoming Alpha M T3 vid? Who did you hear it from? We'll see. This is, I don't know. I mean, that'd be hilarious if he mentioned me on his channel. I don't think he mentioned me on his channel, though. If he wanted to talk about what he said, then I'd be happy to talk about it. But I think we already see how he runs his channel and how he does what he does. Again, he probably handled that whole thing in the worst way possible. BM says, who would win in a wrestling match, you or Federico? I don't know, guys. Sound off in the comment section. That's up to you. Yeah, so Alpha M, what bothered me about that is, again, okay, so you say something, you make an episode that you've been paid for. It's an advertisement. This is your job. You have 4.3 million subscribers on YouTube. Now, just because it's your job doesn't mean you need to sacrifice honesty, but so what? Okay, he skewed his honesty there. That's the first strike against him that bothers me. Then he didn't even try that hard with the episode, because he made the most ridiculous, he took the most ridiculous stance comparing Movement and Rolex. But then the part that I really, really, really ding him for is when he was called out on it. He made an episode on another channel. He has multiple channels, and on his other channel that's much smaller than his big channel, he made an episode saying that it was a joke. So that's what bothers me the most. If you're gonna do something and you do it and you get called out and you're wrong, you gotta you can't then just try to say you were joking. You got to kind of stand by your word, or at least own up to it. That's what I'm trying to get at. You got to own up to it. And judging, I mean, there's a lot of profanity in the comment section. Judging by the comment section, in so many words, you guys are agreeing with me about that whole scenario. Vlad says, hi, Jory. I heard and saw a lot of trash talk about Squale. Also included accusations of fraud. Did you hear evidence of that? I don't know what you're referring to. Yeah, I don't know to what you are referring. So I'd have to. I mean, I'm not a huge Squale guy, but I don't know if they're fraud and stuff. That's I don't know. I'm not sure, so I can't really speak on that. But yeah, guys. So, and some people are being like, "Alpha who?" Ooh. But yeah, guys. So, please, there's 124 people here. Please, 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 join me on Saturday, because the Saturday live streams are the real. I don't want to say bread and butter, because obviously my edited episodes throughout the week are my main gig here. But I have a lot of fun, and I really, really, really look forward to the Saturday live streams. And unfortunately, like no one got notified last week. I don't know why, and there was like 32 people there last Saturday. And then the real frustrating part about it was a day later on Sunday, like hundreds of people wrote to me asking me why I didn't stream on Saturday, even though I literally went on 5 times because it kept freezing and people kept like not showing up. So something was clearly wrong. So yeah, only like 32 people last Saturday. I usually have like 4 times, like 3 to 4 times that amount. So let's try to let's try to bolster it up on Saturday, because I know you guys enjoy it, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. I absolutely enjoy it. So Saturday, most likely around 10 a.m. Pacific, okay? I always do it 10 a.m. to around 11 a.m. Pacific, all right? Because again, I go to my barber shop around 9 a.m., get my hair did, and then I jump on with you guys. So BM says football games. That's why. Well, I've been doing it all throughout football season, and it has not affected it yet for all you college football fans. So Ray Q, certified T3 bot, says it was very intimate. Exactly. So please, if you haven't already, guys, look in your settings. Make sure you're getting notified to my channel. I've had people write to me asking me why I haven't uploaded in months. They're like, hey, man, you haven't uploaded in like a few months. Is everything good? I literally upload multiple times a week, but for some reason, people aren't getting notified. Please make sure you're clicking that bell icon. Please make sure you're in your YouTube settings, making sure you're getting notifications for my channel. It would mean a whole lot to me, because again, I'm making this content for you guys and you guys only. So it means a whole lot. So I will see you guys 10 a.m. Saturday Pacific. And yeah, we'll get our coffee on. We'll get our conversation on. We'll get our joking on. And yeah, we'll have a good time, guys. So Javier says it's not us, it's YouTube. I know. I assume it's probably the algorithm. Everything's changing all the time. And yeah, and also I want to real quick, I'm going to wrap this up, guys, but I want to thank each and every one of you, because we just actually broke past 63,000 subscribers, and that's huge, guys. That's ridiculous. In 2019, I'm gunning for 100,000. I'm gunning for 100,000. I know we can do it. So yeah, all thanks to you guys. All right, I love you guys. Again, get out of your comfort zone today. Enjoy your Thursday, but do something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. If there's that special someone you've wanted to talk to, do not put it off. Okay, do not go another day without speaking to who you need to speak to. Don't go another day without doing what you got to do. Okay, it starts now. Do what you need to do right now. All right, grab life by the horns and get your butt in gear, okay, guys? Get a little uncomfortable. It's worth it. Starting this YouTube channel, getting on camera and talking to you guys was scary to me, all right? Even though I'm an absolute beast, it was scary to me. But guess what? It was all worth it. And I want you guys to take advantage of life as well. And so get a little uncomfortable, get a little crazy, but be safe. And then second, I want you guys to tell someone you love them, because you should not go another moment right now right now, even if you have to leave the live stream, tell someone you love them. Look at all these. You guys don't believe me about my messages. All these messages I get from you guys, and I love you. So tell someone you love them, guys. I'm going to start it off. I love you. I love each and every one of you. I want you to have an awesome Thursday. I want you to have an awesome Friday, and then I will see you Saturday. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday live stream. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Have a good one, guys.